In this video, I'm gonna speak about how I forgot the name of one of my interns on a project and how that led to a situation where I knew I need to delegate more and I need to make the switch from a regular project manager to a senior project manager that is actually on top of things. So it must have been 5 or 6 years within my time of McKinsey when I was making this switch into a more senior role and I took over more and more responsibility for junior colleagues and their professional development. And back then I was actually already making myself a name for educating as many interns as anyhow possible because I had a lot of fun and I also knew the interns that are performing very well, I will just keep them close to me and then later on will be the business analysts or associates on my teams. And exactly this happened. So I had a lot of people that were doing their internships with McKinsey and later on joining into a full-time, into a permanent role, and then were also actively looking to work and collaborate with me. But that is actually not what I wanted to focus on in that quick video. What I wanted to focus on is that there was a moment of truth for me when I realized I just forgot the name of the newest intern on my team. And that was something I saw also with other colleagues and also in other contexts and also with other senior consultants working for other companies. But I always said, like, this is never gonna happen to me because it's way too important for me who is on my team and also the individual behind that role and so on and so forth. And then it just got too much for me. It just got so much that I was unable to remember the name of that person. And then I realized, okay, wait, I need to change something, right? Because this is now also a values discussion for me. I don't want to work in a job where I'm unable to remember the name of the people that I'm working with. Not because it's not important for me, but because my mental load is so high at this moment in time that for whatever reason I was unable to remember. And what I then did is I was delegating responsibility, because back then I was already working as a project lead and making that switch into a more senior role, and I had a lot of, let's say, associates, senior associates, so consultants with, let's say, 2 to 4 years of experience below me, and I gave them more responsibility for the younger colleagues, right? So I was essentially getting more distant in the relationships with the interns and getting more close in the relationships with these like associates and senior associates. So essentially stepping up one level. And at the same time making sure to stay in the loop in a more indirect way. And guess what? Everyone was happy after this, right? Because the associates and senior associates got their first leadership experiences. The interns got a significantly better coverage because there was just more time from the more junior people compared to me. I was able to get indirect feedback on the interns' performance and made sure that I was still there for them in the most important moments, but delegated everything else around these. And it helped me to then have, like, I think in the peak times 6 or so interns at the same time, which was an interesting experience, and also, as I said, helped me a lot in building my own followership. Now the interesting part, and that's also the learning attached to this, is what is your moment of truth, right? When do you realize that you need to delegate, that you need to do something differently? Because for me it was clear this was an important value for me that was affected back at this point in time, but this might be different for each individual here. So the core question is remaining the same, right? So what is it? What are the signs here that you were able to identify that you needed to change, that you needed to change in how to treat people, that you needed to change in the structure of the team here, that you needed to change in the delegation principles and procedures you employed, and that you were able to grow further without compromising on important values on the way. So would love to hear more about your experiences, and let's use that one also as a discussion here, learning from my painful experiences, but also making sure to enrich this with the perspective of others. So more than happy to hear about your own experiences.